No rain in the forecast for today, so it will be busier because of that. Okay, riding it not in the rain this time, I actually see what was going on. And yes, I did start to gray out on that Immelman. Just barely. That's how it always has been with the dive coaster Immelmans. At least for me. Definitely my new favorite dive coaster over Valravn. Even though the view is not as good as you get on Valravn. Got off Mighty Canadian Mindbuster, if I can speak. That was a pretty good wooden coaster. There's not much airtime on it, but if you ride in the right row, it is a smooth ride. If you ride in the wrong row, it's a rough ride. So, my advice, which is true of a lot of the wood coasters, next to last row. Don't ride in the very back, or if you're, I think it would probably be true of any other car as well. Each car has 3 rows. Go to the middle row of a particular car. That way you're not over a wheel and it's a smooth ride. Just got off Behemoth. That is a very good hyper. It actually has some borderline ejector airtime on it. For the most part, it's a smooth ride. Very slight rattle. Didn't bother me. So I got on Backlot Stunt Coaster. Seemed like a long line, but it went really quick. Gotta hand it to what I've seen so far here at Canada's Wonderland. They are keeping the line moving. They are getting people on and off the rides quick, getting the trains out fast. And love Backlot Stunt Coaster. That double helix going upward at the beginning. Yes, I did gray out a little bit again. What can I say? Intimidator 305 doesn't make me gray out, but Backlot Stunt Coaster does. It is weird. There are no effects at all in the middle part there, where Kings Island has all the effects going. King's Dominion has the sound, but no visuals. And here, you just kind of roll through it. They don't even have the sound. They don't even pretend. For people who come here often, I'm sure they know that, but I found it odd. I didn't know that going in. But still a good ride, though. Just better when you have those effects in the middle. I just did Time Warp again. And I liked it. Not the best ride in the park, but it's still fun. It's very different. You got that spiral lift. Got that first Heartline roll there. And another one there. Other than that, you just kind of go back and forth. Get a little bit of airtime, actually. I just rode flight deck. Yeah, I don't know why either. It actually wasn't that bad. It's not very shaky like the one at Darien Lake or Six Flags America.
Seriously?
Don't know why they're running. It's not that great, but it's okay.
I swear I like.
And since it's not very shaky, it actually would probably be all right if the restraints weren't like literally right up against your ears. Like I had no room from my ears to the restraints. I was getting ear banging while just sitting there still. But it didn't hurt that much because, like I said before, those restraints are soft, but they could be softer. Definitely better than the B&M bars, rock hard bars next to your head. Just rode the Fly. It's a wild mouse. You know how they work. Jerky. But this one's not bad. Actually seemed like a bit of a different layout. You kind of go off to the side, have a big drop. But yeah, turns are jerky. If you like that sort of thing, you'll like it. I'm okay with it. I don't dislike it, but I mostly just ride it for the credit. And you cannot use fast lane on this ride, so just keep that in mind if you're buying fast lane. You'll have to wait in this long line, and it does move slow. And the line could get a lot longer than this. I just rode Silver Streak. It's a family invert. And I love the restraints on these. The bars are like way off to the side, kind of like on the vest restraints, except these don't have the vest. So, yeah, you're not going to get headbanging on these. Some of these family inverts can be headbangers, but thanks to the restraints way off to the side, you won't get headbanging on this. And it's just a bunch of sweeping turns. Good family ride, and since they eliminated the headbanging, makes it even better. It's a good thing the restraints are like that too, because towards the end your head does kind of get thrown side to side a bit, but not far enough to reach the restraints. And you cannot use Fast Pass on this ride either. I don't have Fast Pass today, but I'm just mentioning that just in case you decide to get Fast Pass. That there are 7 roller coasters that you cannot use Fast Pass on at this park. The 2 that go through the mountain, the Boomerang, the Wild Mouse, this one, the small wooden coaster, and the Aero Looper. None of those can you use the Fast Pass on. So if you're here to get the coaster credits, take one day without Fast Pass, because of those 7 rides, you wouldn't get to skip the line with Fast Pass. The line didn't take too long for Ghoster Coaster. They are running 2 trains. It wasn't a very long line, and it moved quick anyway. That's a pretty good family ride, Ghoster Coaster. It was coaster credit number 297 for me. You might even get some airtime on it. The lap bars are way up high, so you got a lot of room. There are seatbelts, of course. I just rode Wild Beast, and that completes all the coasters that I'm allowed to do here at Canada's Wonderland. I've done all 16. And I saved the worst for last. Wild Beast, definitely the worst coaster in the park, easily, by far. That was pretty awful. It shakes so much, it throws you around, it jackhammers. If you are okay with getting beat up during the ride, it does give you some moments of airtime. Pretty decent airtime too, but I'm just not able to enjoy it when I'm getting beaten up the whole ride. And another thing about Wild Beast I didn't mention is that you cannot pick your own rows. Even though the line was not long on it, they have a grouper up there and you are assigned a row and that's where you must ride. So yeah, I never like that. I don't like being assigned rows and you can't even request another row. Especially when there's not much of a line. When there's long lines, I can kind of understand it, but not when there's short lines like there was on that one. And it's got short lines because it's so terrible. But now, coming back to the best. That line went quick. 20 minutes. There are a lot of people in line, and it took less than 20 minutes to get on the ride. Vortex, Not in the Rain, is really good. I would say it might be the bumpiest of the suspended coasters I've done. I've done 5 now, and I like all of them, but I do think this one probably is the bumpiest, but it's still not bad. Not complaining. I love that it goes up on top of the mountain, and then you go out over the water. That's a really cool aspect of it. And it's always like these suspended coasters. And they keep this line moving quick. Like even my first ride, this queue was full, and I was on in less than 20 minutes. Still would love to get a ride on this where we're going through the helix when Yukon Striker is going down into the tunnel. Got a train coming up now. Oh, that might be timed out just right for this one. I won't be able to see it, but it might happen. It feels more aggressive too than some of the others, but not in as graceful of a way also. So I would say I'd put it a little bit behind the Bad at Kings Island as far as the suspended coasters I've done. And Ninja at Magic Mountain is still my favorite. And then at the bottom, my number 4 would be Iron Dragon at Cedar Point. 5 would be Accelerate at Astro World, which is of course defunct. But both Iron Dragon and Accelerate were slower versions, like 35 miles an hour. These are a lot faster, the other 3. I've had 5 rides on Yukon Striker today. 3 in the front, 2 in the back. It is very smooth, no rattle. I'm detecting no rattle at all on Yukon Striker. That is awesome. In the front or even in the back. And in the back, you do get some really good airtime on that drop. On both drops, actually. And then this airtime hill gives good airtime no matter what row you're in. And I get good airtime in the front also. Just my advice about the restraints, don't staple yourself. Once the vests touch your shoulders, stop pulling. Almost timed out perfectly. 4 rides on Leviathan, 4 on Behemoth, 5 on Yukon Striker. So on a day that it wasn't terribly busy, but there were some school groups here and there were some lines, but lines never got too bad. I heard it'll be far worse once the summertime hits. But that last ride that I got was in the front row. So that's what I wanted. Sometimes it can be hard to get the front row, or you have to wait a long time for the front row because everyone's wanting it, but there wasn't much of a wait. I only had to wait 1 extra train to get the front, or 2 extra trains, and I wouldn't have gotten back in time for another ride anyway. Front row on this is amazing. Love feeling that wind hitting you unobstructed. And yes, Fury is a better layout, but Leviathan is just riding so smooth for me, and Fury didn't, so that's what makes the difference for me. I ran into Amusement Insiders right before coming over here to Leviathan for my last 2 rides on it. Yeah, he was really nice. It was great to meet you, and hopefully I'll see you here tomorrow too. But no doubt Yukon Striker is an awesome dive coaster. For what it is incredible. As much as I like Valraven, I am a big fan of Valraven, but Yukon Striker is so much better. It takes it to the next level and beyond. And Behemoth is a very good hyper. Say upper half B&M hyper. Yeah, getting a few more rides on it. Not sure if I like it more than something like Apollo's Chariot and Nitro, but it's kind of right along those lines. I think those 3 are going to be pretty interchangeable for me. And then there's Vortex, as my 4th favorite. I don't know what would be 5th. Probably Backlot, then Time Warp, for sure. Time Warp, awesome coaster. Simply put, this is the best entry plaza I have seen at any park I've been to. There is no comparison. Love the Kings Island and Kings Dominion with the Eiffel Tower and the fountains, but this is way above and beyond anything else that I've ever seen.